Hello, and I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been helping me so far. So a few things I'm going to address. So the first thing that a few people suggested was, well, just plug the LEDs in the other way. Electricity can only flow one way through an LED. Here is the issue with that. One, as a safety feature, all the outlets in the U.S., one's plug is bigger than the other. The neutral plug is bigger than the live plug. This is for safety purposes, specifically actually relating to light sockets. Basically, so if you accidentally stick your finger inside of one of these, you hit the neutral and not the ground unless you really get your finger down in there and hit the live wire at 120 volts. And I could actually do a whole other video on that. There's actually quite a bit of interesting physics there. The other issue with that is out of the wall, it is alternating current, and so it should flow each way. And so I could see it happening where the lights would flicker at a certain amount, and they would go on and off, possibly staying off if the electricity was flowing through backwards, and I could see that happening as well. But that does not appear to be the case. So I do not think it is something that can be fixed easily just by flipping the directions. But I am going to go and see if I can use some alligator clips and some other supplies to possibly figure out a way to cheat and flip the direction, but I do not have enough to do that today. So I wanted to get on with a suggestion I had heard. So what I've done is I have labeled the light bulbs. You can see this is light bulb A. And I've also labeled the bases. Oh, did it wear off? It did wear off. So this is base. This is socket number 1. And so we are going to test and make sure and see, does this weird behavior go with the bulbs, or is it something with the sockets? And you can see I have labeled, got B right here with 2, got C with the number 3 right here. You can see that's C with the number 3. And then we got D with the number 4. Okay, sorry, focusing is a bit of an issue. There we go. And then I also don't have very much length on my cord right here, which you can see also the one plug is bigger than the other. Again, this is for safety purposes, but this does mean that just flipping it around wouldn't exactly work so well. All right, so give me a second. Got to plug this in. All right, so going to plug in A with number 1 into socket X, as I've labeled it. Oops, wrong way. And then going to plug in 2 into B, as I have labeled it. And as you can see, A is the one that lit up, not B. B has stayed dim, so I'm going to switch the bulbs, but leave the sockets where they are. And once again, A is the one lit up. So I moved A from little converter number 1 to little converter number 2, and it's still bulb A that's lit up. Let's try it with the other 2 now. Let's try it with 3 and 4. Let's see if a similar thing happens. So plugging 3C into X, and then I'm going to plug 4 with D into Y. And it is C lighting up. So we're going to flip these two. and it is still C lighting up. And then we can even flip these again. And it's still bulb C lighting up. So it seems to be light bulb corresponding this effect, and not outlet conforming, and not converter conforming. Although we could mix and match, like C, I guess you could say 1 the first time, and then gonna plug it in here with A, or should we C1 the second time and A1 the first time, and this time A is not lit up, right? But then I'll unplug C, put B back in, and this time A is lighting up. So it seems to be that there is something going on with one bulb versus the other, and I'll unplug A right here, then I'll plug, let's see, I'll plug D in, let's see what happens. And it looks like D is lighting up this time. So B, I don't think B has lit up at all today. Let's see. So B does not seem to light up against any of the other ones. All right, and I'll even switch it over here. So this is C, this is A, this is gonna be D, I think. Yep, this is D. And so it does not look like B has lit up at all. But I'll unplug B, I'll replace it with C, and this time D does not light up, C lights up. So there's something going on with which bulb it is. Something else I got in the emails is that there is likely some type of circuit in here to prevent the 120 volts from my wall outlet from blowing these LEDs. And when I actually looked at it down there, that person appears to be right. There does look like there is a circuit board down there. Now, I could break this open and try to figure out what's on the circuit board, but these were like $8-9 a piece, and that's kind of expensive. And then also too, just looking at the circuit board, I'm not sure if I'd be able to tell what they actually are, if they are just little pieces of plastic and semiconductor. I might not be able to tell exactly what they are unless they are labeled, which I highly doubt. I have emailed the company, which is General Electric, who made these, to see if I can get a schematic of the circuit board on the bottom. So that's my update so far. I will try, once I get the necessary supplies, to see if there's a way I can flip the polarity, or not necessarily the polarity, excuse me, flip the live wire with the neutral wire for coming out of this socket for going into this plug. All right, let me know if you have any more ideas.